the founder of The Art of Estate Planning, and this video is about two things. Firstly, reconsidering how we might bind our wills and estate planning documents in our estate planning firm, and secondly, the broader topic of just testing some of the processes and procedures that we have set up in our firm that we may not be consciously choosing, and if we could approach them in a different way using the technology that is currently available or simplify the process, that it could add more profit to our bottom line. So one of those is, as an example, is looking at using the A3 binding method for our wills. So I often mention these to our TT Precedent Club members as something they might like to consider, and we get questions about, well, how exactly do you do it? What does it look like? So I thought I would actually go through an example. So this is one that I did, it's actually my husband's old will when I was working at Nexus Law Group, and we bound it up this way. So the way that it works is, this is an A3 piece of paper. The will is printed double-sided, and then there are staples along the spine at the back, and then also staples along the spine in the middle. And it is a booklet. So just, sort of going through cover page, first will, it goes one to, the pages go sequentially, but the way that the booklet works is the pages are not sequential on the A3. So this, I'll just pick this one page here. This is page 6, 7, and then it has pages 24 and 25, like this singular like piece of A3. So you have to set it up properly in your printer. You need an A3 printer. Like a lot of the big multifunctional devices will easily be able to do this. I don't know about some of the more small home office A3 printers, but get your amazing tech person or your VA or a secretary or someone who's a guru to sit down and look at the settings, and they might have to spend a bit of time setting it up to get it to print out in this booklet method, but your printer should be able to do it if you have one of those big multifunctional ones. I like to do it double-sided. I think in this type of, I'll just see if I can show you. You can't see the page from the previous side coming through, right? So I think that quality is totally acceptable. And what it does, it's like not a very thick booklet. It's a really nice thin booklet, even though this will is almost 30 pages. 30, like 29 pages. So it makes it much less of an overwhelming document. The other thing that it helps to do that makes it less overwhelming is we only sign on the last page. So you might be feeling very nervous about that proposition, right? But just have a think, if you step back, the reason why people sign every page is to prevent tampering. And that is an issue only where you have a binding method that is easy to tamper with. And this is really hard to tamper with. You cannot replace pages. If you want to rip a page out, you're actually ripping 4 out. So you have to get those 4 redone. And you pretty much have to pull the whole thing apart and break the spine. So I did actually try and pull it. I don't know if you can see, clearly it's been tampered with. So when this is not tampered with, it's very obvious to tell. So if you're still nervous, go and have a look at the succession legislation in your state and go through the requirements of a valid will. There is nothing that says you have to sign it on every page. And even if you're concerned about your registrar, again, there should be nothing in the court rules that say you have to sign it on every page, especially when it is presented so beautifully and smoothly. Like, it's actually much more secure than those, corner methods or anything like that. Some people, I used to do this at another firm I worked for, and we would actually use a really beautiful A3 glossy cover page paper. So it had like, I think it was almost pre-printed from the printers with like the color logo of the firm, and then we would just print in black and white the name on the front and put that on the front, so it really elevated the look and feel even more. But yeah, this is just something to think about. What have we talked about? Signing the last page, A3 sign, scanning. Okay, so now you're wondering, well, how do I scan this, right? Is it a lot? Firstly, you might be fine if you can do A3 scanning. It's not that hard. Go through. I know quite a few people undo the binding method, run it through the automatic feeder of the photocopier, and then rebind it, which I've never been comfortable with that if we're talking about tampering. What I do actually is get the Word file of the will, print that or convert that to PDF, and then scan in the last page, because we are signing only on that last page now, and replace the unsigned signing page of that PDF file with the signed PDF page. And there you have it, a complete record of what the will comprised. I wouldn't necessarily submit that PDF record if I had to send a certified document to somewhere official or submit it to probate. But in terms of it being a client-facing copy or a record of what is in your secure storage, I think that is completely adequate and perfect, and actually way more accurate than the sleepy secretary who's starting to cut off the edge of the will because they're bored out of their brain scanning a million documents. So look, like it or not like it, we've had a lot of amazing feedback of people who say, I'm never going back now that we've switched to the A3 booklet binding method. By the way, I didn't coin this. I've just, it has been used in some of the firms that I've started at, but I want to spread the word about it being an option. If it's not for you, that is completely fine. I'm not pushing this on anyone. I just want to plant a seed that there could be other ways to do things, and there could be a lot of things that are set up in your firm that you are not consciously choosing that could be done in a much better way, given the technology that's available at hand, that could increase the profitability. If we're doing things in a particular way, why are you doing it? Does it even need to be done? Can that task be eliminated completely, or can it be replaced in a simpler way to increase efficiencies and ultimately increase your profit? So share any feedback you have. If you love it, if you hate it, if you have another idea or another approach of doing things, we would love to hear.